Hey everyone, welcome back to F1 2021 and welcome back to another video of the My Team Career Mode journey for Cross GT Racing. Getting close to the end of the season now. We're well and truly into the second half of the season. Trying to not only prepare for Season 2 in terms of collecting cash for a new driver, but also still trying to put in some decent performances to at least get us a little bit further up the driver standings so that we can get a better bonus at the end of the season. Personnel department issue straight off the bat.
We have a problem regarding our driver. How do you want to handle this?
Okay, so Schwartzman wants some personal time to recharge. If we accept, we gain awareness but lose racecraft. If we decline, we go the other way. We don't really want to lose racecraft, and we're almost at the end of the season, so...
The department wants me to pass on their thanks for helping out.
No worries, he can have the time to recharge at the end of the season. Sounds a bit rough, but we've only got 2 days, or well, it's Monday today, so it's 3 days essentially before the next Grand Prix. We don't really have time for him to take the time off and recharge. We want to keep pushing through. So a little extra training for Schwartzman there. We just really want to get as much out of these activities as we can heading into the end of the season. Chassis upgrade, we need to do some chassis upgrades because they are lacking. We are well behind everyone else in terms of chassis upgrades. Major weight reduction for the engine cover. It's going to take 24 days, so that's going to take quite a while, but we need to do it. It's definitely the part that is holding us back.
I know we were expecting some new developments to come through, but some of them have failed quality control. We'll need to tell the team what to redevelop via the R&D screen.
So we had a couple of parts fail. Pistons failed in the powertrain department. So now those parts won't be ready until after the Japanese Grand Prix. And a chassis upgrade we're working on, the weight redistribution for the energy store cells also failed. So now that one also won't come on until after the Japanese Grand Prix. Now we're supposed to be getting ready for the Singapore Grand Prix, but we had some issues here. Practice did not go well. As you can see from qualifying, we were over 4 seconds off the pace to Schwartzman, who was in 21st. And this is the result of lap 3. We were 5 seconds down to the person in front of us.
Check your MFD for a new strategy option.
And just had so many issues. Couldn't control the car. We lost the front wing and just
Are you
just
okay?
lost it.
That was a big one. Confirm you're okay, please.
Yeah, we're okay, Jeff, but Singapore is a nightmare of a track, and it really highlighted our inexperience as a Formula 1 driver. So there we go, another retirement this season for us. But yeah, reasonably inexperienced on some of these tracks, or most of these tracks, to be honest. So after a frustrating weekend in practice and in the race, we just cut our losses there and retired. So we take a look at the driver standings. So Valtteri Bottas, 19 points ahead of Lewis Hamilton in the driver standings, 48 points ahead of Max Verstappen. Constructor standings, Mercedes extending their lead to Red Bull, now 132 points ahead. Constructors title could be wrapped up very shortly at that rate. Back to the facility and marketing department and just look at something.
We need you to step in and make an executive decision here.
Okay, so recent accounting scandal. We can either fire a person or give them a warning, but we don't have the points to fire them, so we have to just give them the warning. No worries. So we lose quite a bit of team acclaim there because of that. But it was the only option we had. We didn't have the resource points needed to fire the person. So that's frustrating, but to be honest, I would rather we lose the acclaim than lose the resource points. We need all the resource points we can get, because heading into the next season, there's going to be some regulation changes as we fire up another durability development.
Our new parts have completed without issue. They'll be on the car, ready for the next race weekend.
Excellent stuff there. Some more parts coming through, which will hopefully make the car a bit easier to handle as we head off to the Japanese Grand Prix, straight into qualifying. Practice didn't really go too well here. Also had a little bit of a recording issue with it, so didn't have anything to show there, but straight into qualifying. Bottas and Norris are battling it out for pole at the moment through this part of the track as we weave through. We're just following behind. Again, our inexperience starting to show as we're just not hitting the apexes right. It's a pretty rough track, this one. So we come around turn 9 there. We take it reasonably well. Full speed, we brake very late and we go wide. We go out onto the grass at turn 11 there. That's not good. That is not going to help us at all. So we come around the long right hand turn 12. Down into 13, we brake too hard there. Little too conservative on that one, and then we missed the apex there at 14. A lot of mistakes being made here in qualifying. We were doing the same sorts of things in practice when we were just making mistakes, and they just started compounding. Oh, as we missed the turn there at 15. That's not a good move there. 16 is okay. We get a little bit of a slide at 17. We managed to save it as we bring it round across the start-finish line there. And as you can see, again, just way off the pace. P22, 7.9 seconds off the pole position runner. 4.5 seconds behind Mazepin. Not a good run at all for us. Obviously in the rivalry breakdown, Stroll takes it from us. Everyone else is ahead of us, so there was no way we were going to gain the points there. Rivalry now swinging back in his direction. Team Acclaim, almost at Acclaim level 13. Let's head on to race day.
Welcome along then to the magnificent Suzuka International Circuit, a stone's throw away from Issa Bay in the beautiful Japanese countryside. What surprises lie in wait for us today in the Japanese Grand Prix? 18 corners make up a lap of the incredible figure-of-8 Suzuka circuit, with 10 to the right and 8 to the left, for a distance of 3.6 miles. Average lap speeds around here are fairly quick. If it stays dry, then expect somewhere in the region of 136 miles per hour. It's race day yet again, and joining me for a chat, Anthony Davidson. And our racers are certainly in for a rough day today. What will you be watching for as they go down into turn 1?
Well, the start of the race is always one of the most nerve-wracking parts. You have to hope that everyone is able to get off to a clean start, and this is possibly the trickiest part of the entire race. So many drivers in such a small space, and finding your braking point into turn 1 as well. It's a testament to the driver's skill that there aren't more incidents.
It's time to see how our drivers are stacking up after yesterday's exciting qualifying session. Good job yesterday from Valtteri Bottas. The Finn starts from pole position, and Lewis Hamilton completes the front row. Looking down the rest of the grid, we have Norris, Perez, Max Verstappen and Ricciardo, Leclerc, Sainz, Gasly and Sebastian Vettel, Fernando Alonso, Stroll, Yuki Tsunoda and Giovinazzi, Ocon, Raikkonen, Mick Schumacher and George Russell, Latifi, Mazepin, Schwartzman and the captain, And with preparations almost complete, let's head down to the track.
So there is the starting lineup for the Japanese Grand Prix. Mercedes 1 and 2. We are going to be running softs to mediums. We're going to be following the suggested strategy. We've got 5 red lights and we're off and running for the Japanese Grand Prix, starting from the back of the pack. Cross GT Racing filling out the back row of the grid. Oh, it's getting messy up here. We were 3 wide here, heading into turn 1, and we just start picking off people with the outside. We don't quite pull off all the moves, but we both members of Cross GT Racing sandwich Mazepin in. Oh, he's just got no room to move, and he has to let us go by. That was a little bit of bullying going on there by the looks of things. But we get the job done. Oh, we just managed to pick off Schwartzman there around the outside. P20 now. Try to get the inside of Latifi, but we just can't pull it off. Heading around turn 8, we go wide, we hit the gravel. Schwartzman comes up the inside of us. We give him the space, and we almost collide with him at 9. Oh, things are already getting tough. We managed to make a massive dive bomb. A huge dive bomb at 11. And now we're up in P19. We make the move stick eventually on Latifi. Let's have another look at that. We get Mazepin trying to come up the inside of us. We managed to jump past Schwartzman. We go around the inside of Latifi. He puts up a bit of a fight there, but he eventually gives in and gives us the position. P19 now, heading into turn 13. We've now got George Russell ahead of us, taking that corner a lot better than we did in qualifying. ERS enabled. Even with the ERS, we are still losing ground to Russell a little bit. That corner there helped us out. We took that well. Right up behind them into 16. 17. Oh, we had to ease off there to avoid the contact, and that's just opened up that gap again that we closed. Lap 1 completed. We've managed to gain 3 positions. Let's see if we can keep moving up the grid. So we've got Russell in our sights. We're just not quite hitting these apexes as well as we want. But we do have a little bit of speed there. Heading around turn 6. We might be able to use that to our advantage. Might be a good place for us to get some overtakes on the outside as we cut the corner there. We go wide onto the gravel at 9. And we lose a lot of ground to Russell. He's now a second ahead of us. Latifi tries to come up the inside of us there, but we managed to hold him off heading into turn 11. But he's closing that gap. He's closing that gap really quickly. We'll try to break the slipstream and just keep out of it. Try to slow him down a little bit. And we managed to do so. ERS enabled. We need to gain some ground back on Russell, which we are not doing. Even with the ERS, we are not able to catch up to him. In fact, our car with ERS enabled is struggling to hit 300 Ks. Whoa, a bit of a slide there at 17, but we hold on to it.
DRS is being enabled this lap. We can use DRS when you are within 1 second of the car ahead and in the DRS zone.
Thanks, Jeff, for letting us know that as Latifi flies past us. Heading into turn 1. Dropped the position, but that slide back at coming out of 17 opened up the door for Latifi to snatch that position back. But we're managing to maintain our pace.
Yellow flag.
So we have a yellow flag ahead of us somewhere. Yellow flag right here. Whoa!
The virtual safety car has been deployed. Slow down and maintain a positive delta. There's been an incident resulting in a high level of debris on the track.
So it looks like a bit of a collision there as we almost collide with Latifi.
Informed that due to the increasing risks, they're moving from a virtual to a full safety car. A new strategy is available on the MFD.
Okay, so full safety car has been deployed onto the track. As we take a look at the proposed strategies, we will be heading into the pits.
Your delta is negative, which means you are too fast. Reduce your pace.
Okay, Jeff, we will try and maintain that delta as well as we can. So we will be heading into the pits at the end of the next lap to go on to the mediums, which will take us all the way through to the end of the race, as a number of drivers are already heading into the pits this lap.
Robert in the pits.
So now after that we have jumped up into P7, but we effectively are still P16 as we will be heading into the pits at the end of this lap, along with, I'm assuming, a bunch of the other drivers to try to warm these tyres up. And a little bit of a nudge there with Latifi, just tapped that back left rear tyre, and we somehow get a 5-second penalty for that. Severe collision with Latifi. We barely touched the tyres. What is going on? Well, we're into the pits now, so we will serve our penalty here in the pits, get it out of the way. But 5 seconds for that, I mean, come on. What are you doing, Michael Massey? Ever since the end of the Formula 1 championship last year, you've just gone a bit mental. Gone a bit power hungry, throwing all the rules and regulations all over the place.
Look after these tyres now. We want to finish the race on this compound.
Sure thing, Jeff. We are still under safety car, so we do still have a chance to catch up to the rest of the pack. So even though we are P22, we are able to catch everyone, which we do. As we get ready for the restart. Safety car coming in this lap. There does appear to be an issue with a part of the engine, some wear on one of the parts, which could be affecting our car's performance.
2.3 seconds.
Okay, 2.3 seconds to Schwartzman, who is an 18th. We're in P22. We didn't have a good start there, so we've dropped back. We're now a second and a half behind Ocon, who is ahead of us. But we've still got a number of laps left in this race. We can still regain some places. But whatever issue we've got with the engine, whatever part is wearing down at the moment, is affecting our car's performance. As even when we enable the ERS, we still aren't able to really make a lot of ground on these other drivers. So something we'll have to address heading into the next few races. But for now we just have to manage as best we can. Oh, as we go wide again there. And we head into a spin. We've spun out. That is the last thing that we needed. Yellow flag for our spin. We're back to green flag running, but we are now 9 seconds behind Ocon. The only thing that's going to save us is the fact that everyone gets backed up at these corners up here at 16 and 17, but that was a huge mistake on our part. And then we take 16 and 17 poorly anyway, so we can't even gain up the time that we lost. We're now double digits behind Ocon in P21. And
Stewards have now enabled DRS. DRS is now online.
okay, so DRS now available, but we aren't going to be able to use it anyway, as lap after lap we're just not gaining any time on these guys. Although in saying that, a lot of drivers are now in the pits this lap. We already did our pit stop when the safety car was out, so this works in our favour, as we managed to jump up a couple of positions. We get ahead of Latifi and Sonoda. We're now right behind Stroll. We go wide at 1. But we've got acceleration on Stroll there. He's on the hard, so we have an advantage in terms of tyre compound. But we just pushed too hard there and we've lost so much time on him. But turn 6 there, we seem to be able to carry a bit more speed through turn 6. So that could be where we make up some ground. Got Stroll in our sights. Heading around turn 9, we take that really well. Gap to Stroll 0.6 seconds, but he is still pulling away even though he's on the hards and we're on the mediums. His car just has more power than ours, but our car at the same time is having issues, and I don't know why. I'm not sure what it is. Some wear on some of the parts in our power unit, and it's just reducing our car's ability to get up to speed. ERS enabled on this long straight, and we're only just getting over 300. I don't know what's going on there, but we should be able to do more than that. We should be able to do it faster than that too. But that's alright, we're managing it relatively well, I do believe.
5 laps of fuel remaining.
5 laps of fuel left, 4 laps left in this Grand Prix. Sonoda is closing in on us. He's now only 0.6 seconds behind us. Latifi on the other hand, 4 seconds behind us. As we go into another spin! Oh, and we lose the front. We get some front wing damage.
That's us down a place.
Oh, and we lose both places as Latifi comes flying past us into another spin there. So we spin at turn 14 earlier in the race, and now we've spun at turn 7. Front wing damage is just causing all kinds of havoc now, as we have to come into the pits to address it. But with only 3 laps left now in this Grand Prix, I just don't see us gaining any more positions. That spin there just sealed our race. 6.9 second pit stop, and all that time lost as we come out of the pits on lap 11. So we've actually got 3 laps left, and somehow we need to gain 40 seconds on Latifi if we want to have any chance of not finishing last.
Turbocharger is on its last legs. Let's try to keep mileage on it to a minimum.
So there's the problem. The turbocharger is worn out. So our car is not able to get up to speed. As we go down the straight here, we've got nothing enabled, or no ERS or DRS, but the car was only able to get up to 285 or 286. Even without those enhancements, we should be able to hit 300s in this car. But the turbocharger is so worn that we just can't get any speed. As we come around, we let Hamilton go ahead. He will take the checkered flag, which means our race is over with 1 lap.
Right, race over. Take care of the car on the way in.
1 lap down, finishing the race, as Hamilton laps us right at the very end of the race. But our teammate gets driver of the day. What a race from Schwartzman.
Another action-packed Japanese Grand Prix comes to an end. And what a magnificent drive to take the win here today. Tell me, Ant, how did they manage to achieve this win?
Well, they played the safety car to absolute perfection. There are so many factors to worry about once the race is neutralised. I mean, do you pit for fresh rubber? Do you have the space behind you? How much fuel can you save? If you answer all of those questions correctly, you'll have a good chance. And that's exactly what happened today.
And I can see the drivers starting to approach the podium for the victory celebrations. A real team victory today. Everybody played their part. Congratulations then to Mercedes, your race winners today.
So there we have it. P22, 1 lap down. Schwartzman started in P21, finishes in P10. He gained us another championship point. As we take a look at the driver standings, Kimi Raikkonen jumps up to 14th. Lewis Hamilton has now jumped ahead of Bottas after winning that race, and Bottas, I think, finished. I don't even think he finished in the points. I think he finished in like P11, I think. So Hamilton now takes the lead by 7 points in the driver's standings. Alfa Romeo, thanks to Kimi Raikkonen finishing or jumping up the driver's standings, now jumps ahead of Williams into P9. In the constructor standings, we are still P8 as Aston Martin cleaned up in the points today. We were 1 point behind them. Well, it might have also been the Singapore Grand Prix actually, but now they are now well ahead of us on 15 points. So that brings a disappointing race weekend to an end. Practice wasn't good. Qualifying, we made too many mistakes. And then race day, well, turbocharger worn out was affecting our car's power. Two spins at critical points just resulted in a weekend to forget. Hopefully we can improve for the next round, but we did have a couple of parts fail earlier in the episode, so those ones there, hopefully I'm pretty sure they will be ready after this one, so ready for the next round. So we'll see what happens there. If you did enjoy the video, please leave a like, comment, and let me know what you thought. If you're not already subscribed, please do subscribe. It would really help me out a lot. And we will see you in the next one. Thanks for watching, guys.